If you're doing a game that was 5 years old or something that doesn't need the power of a modern system, then you can jam those together. You can have the CPU rendering to the graphics processor in one frame. But it seems really harsh when you start looking at, if it takes 16 milliseconds just to scan out the screen, how do you get 20 milliseconds for the bottom of your screen at least, where that seems to imply you've only got 4 milliseconds for everything else? And so this is where you start trying to find creative ways to cheat, to find out ways to bypass these things and still accomplish your goal without necessarily going through everything the conventional way. And most of what's been possible for virtual reality systems is bypassing sensor inputs much later. So we have this long pipeline that you want to go through. Some of the key tricks are figuring out how to bring updated sensor information in after all of this and still get mostly what you want. And now, as with all really good engineering trades, it is a trade, it's a compromise. You're doing something that is not perfect. It is not as good as if we had a computer that is 10 times faster, we would just be able to do exactly what we want. We'd get in the realm that we want, and our responsiveness and life would be wonderful. But when you can't wait around for computers to just get 10 times faster, sometimes you need to figure out how to make the really smart trade-offs. And when you looked at the kind of the value curves there, you can say, there's a really steep value curve here. I really want to I'm willing to sacrifice to bring this value curve up from this low area up to this high area. I maybe don't care as much about that final tail off at the top, but it's really valuable to kind of get up there. And you can have kind of bitter arguments about priorities when it comes down to things like this, because for anything that you want to cut, you'll be able to find somebody that thinks it's the most critical, important piece of the project, and it's nothing, anything but that. But so the path to cleaning this up for virtual reality was, the most obvious thing was fixing the microcontroller.